custom textures, something we've always done here for 20 years. In a lot of cases, you know, we do supply reclaimed timber, but in most cases people would rather have new timbers because they're a little more controllable as far as the size, dimension of what they want. But they want that older look. They want something that looks aged, whether that's extremely rustic aged or just a little bit aged. And so what we've always done is we have custom textures that we can do for people. The most popular is what we call our weatherwood texture. And so what we do with the timber to make it look weathered is we first rough saw it, and it comes off the mill rough sawn, and so it's got all the bandsaw marks and stuff. And from there we run a giant hand planer over it and smooth it out. And then we take a draw knife, an old-fashioned draw knife, and we draw knife the corners to look aged, like it's been kind of worn off or broken. And then after that we sand it to get rid of any of the, you know, planing marks or anything like that. And then we use what's called a buffing tool. And so the buffing tool has a nylon wheel, and it's basically raking at the grain. And in wood, you've got the soft grain and the hard grain kind of intertwined. That's what makes the rings of the tree. And so what that buffing wheel does is it eats away the soft wood in between the hard grain and kind of raises the grain. And so it gives you that weathered, you know, aged look. And with the rounded over corners, and it's very natural looking on the edges and stuff, kind of makes it look much more weathered. And then from there, if you've got a good finish guy, really you can make it look however you want, you know, color wise, and kind of take it the rest of the way. We kind of get it with the textures, we get it about 90% to what a client is kind of looking for, and then that last 10% is just basically like the staining or the coloring that they kind of work out on that end. Another texture that we do that's really popular is hand-hewn. So for 100 years, or hundreds of years, you know, people basically hewn timbers out of trees with axes. This all predates sawmills. And so what we can do is basically take a timber that we've cut on the mill in its rough sawn form. We bring it into our shop, and then we just start pseudo repeating the process of what they would have gone through traditionally. Traditionally they would use tools like an adze and a broad axe, and so we use those same tools to create the same, you know, texture as if it was hewn out from a round log to a timber, only we kind of start with a timber and then kind of create that texture at the last second. So there's a lot of times we'll be in here, you know, guys swinging broad axes and swinging sharp objects everywhere. So it gets a little wild looking if you were to walk in, but it creates a really authentic, cool looking hand-hewn texture. Another texture that we also do is we call our log cabin texture. And so we use some different tools to basically you know, grind away at the surface of the timber or the log. And it's hard to really describe, which is not good for video. It's hard to describe, but it's, you know, it creates what you would probably find in a lot of cases in old traditional log cabins, because what they would do is they would take the log and with a draw knife debark it. And so they'd be debarking these logs, and it creates these flat, long, striated patterns on the surface, and they would just leave it that way, and that's how they would build log cabins. And so we have some different tools to do that, that we're able to do a little more efficiently, but it kind of gives you the same look. And then from there, you know, sometimes people want very smooth, you know, like very lightly rounded corners, very crisp corners, and very smooth, because they want their timbers to look a little more, they don't want them to look rustic, they want them to look very contemporary, or, you know, whatever the case may be for their look. And in that case, we go through a whole process of really smoothing out these timbers and sanding them to the point where it's like a piece of furniture, you know. So here at Renaissance, we're really here to cater to our customers' needs from start to finish. Anywhere, you know, from starting out, just kind of like even discovering, like, I don't know what size of timbers I just know I want some timbers in my house, or I want a mantle. or whatever the case may be. We kind of help work through those issues, get you what you exactly want, and and deliver on the look that you're looking for. And hopefully we can earn you guys' business.